In this lecture, we are going to devise our own logic to perform a string comparison. Now we have already seen a string comparison function strcmp defined in the header file string.h. How does this function work is very simple. It takes two arguments. The first argument is string number 1 and the second argument is string number 2. Okay, and it returns you 0 if both these strings are same. It returns -1 or a negative number if the first string is less than the second string, that is str1 is less than str2, it returns a negative number -1. And if the first string str1 is more than the second string str2, it returns a positive number +1. This is how a string comparison function works in the header file string.h. Now in this lecture, we're going to write our own function to perform a string comparison. So in order to do that, we need to devise our own logic to perform the string comparison. Let's try to devise the logic by looking at this example. Let's look at this first example. There are two strings str1 and str2, right? The str1 is having the string hello stored in it and str2 is having the string hi stored in it. Now our job is to compare these two strings. Now in order to compare these two strings, we need to first of all compare character by character. You may remember that each character is having the unique integer representation or unique code called as the ASCII code. For example, A in small letters is represented by the ASCII code 97. Okay, small z is represented by the ASCII code 122. Similarly, capital A is represented by the ASCII code 65 and capital Z is represented by the ASCII code 90. Okay, so here if you see in the strings, I have also given the ASCII code. The ASCII code for capital H is 72, ASCII code for small e is 101, ASCII code for L is 108, and so on and so forth. I have given the ASCII code for all these characters in both the strings. And remember, the ASCII code for the null character is 0. 0 is the ASCII code for the null character. Now how do I compare? Is very simple. First of all, I'll catch hold of the first character of both these strings, right? In the first string, I'll get the character H. In the second string, I'll get the character H. Now both of these are same characters, so they are having the same ASCII code 72 and 72. So at this point, we can claim that both of these strings are same because at this point, both of these strings are having the character H, having the same ASCII code 72. So what we do is we'll move to the next index, I equals to 1. Okay, so whenever I equals to 1, in the first string, I'll catch hold of the element E. Okay, the character is E, and in the second string, the character is I. Now you see ASCII code of E 101 is less than the ASCII code of I, which is 105. Therefore we say that E comes before I in the dictionary, or we say E is less than I in terms of ASCII code. Therefore we say this entire string str1 is less than str2, and in that case we'll have to return the value -1. Okay. Once we find that the characters are having the different ASCII code, we did not compare with the remaining part of the string. Okay, we just stop there and then we decide on the answer. In this case, the answer is negative because the first character E is less than the second character I. Okay, therefore we return -1, stating that the first string is less than the second string. So if you look at the dictionary, hello would come before the string hi. Therefore we say string 1 is less than string 2, represented by the integer value -1. -1 is a negative number. If first string is less than the second string, you have to return the negative number. Now let's look at the second example. In this case, both the strings looks exactly same, hello, hello. Now how do we proceed with our logic is very simple. First you will catch hold of the first character in each of these strings. It is H, ASCII is 72. So they are same, so we move to the next character E. Okay, same character, same ASCII code 101, 101, move to the next character L. Okay, in the next index 2. In the index 2, both the characters are L, ASCII code is same 108, 108. So if they are same, we move to the next character. Again, the next character is L. In index 3, ASCII code is 108. So as of now, our string is same, right? Move to the next character O. Small o is having ASCII 111. Okay, and you move to the next character, you reach the end of the string, so you will stop. Okay, once you reach the end of the string, you will stop here. Now in this case, what you see is, you see all the characters are having the same ASCII code. Okay, so in this case, you say that both the strings are same. In that case, you will have to return the value 0. You will have to return the value 0 because all the characters in this string are having the same ASCII code, or they are the same. Okay, now let's write down our code to implement string comparison. So first of all, what we do is we'll take the index I which is initialized to 0 because it will catch hold of the first character in both these strings. So initially I is made to 0. Now I'll have to scan through all the characters in a string, okay, in both these strings. But if I encounter the null character, I'll have to stop my entire process, because in this case, if I scan the elements one by one in both these strings, in the second string I'll be getting the null character at index 2. So whenever I get the null character at index 2, I'll have to stop the entire process, because there is no point in comparing the characters of the string once I encounter the null character in any one of the strings. So here in the case of this example, in the string 2 I'll be encountering the null character first. Okay, so I'll have to stop the entire process once I encounter the null character there. So I'll repeat the process if in the string 1 str1, okay, at index I element is not equals to null, okay, it should not be null, and also in the string 2 str2 at index I the element should not be null, so not equals to null. Okay, when both the characters are not null in the string, then I'll have to repeat something. So what do I repeat is very simple. I'll have to compare the characters. Okay, so if in my string 1 str1 at index I, if this character is less than str2 I. So what I'm trying to do here for the first time is, for the first time I is 0, so it will catch hold of the first character h in the string 1 and the first character h in the string 2. You'll try to compare if the ASCII of the first character is less than the ASCII of the second character. If this happens to be true, then the ASCII of the character in the first string is less than the ASCII of the character in the second string. That means first string is less than the second string. Therefore, in that case, I'll have to return the value -1, indicating that first string is less than the second string. And this will stop the entire process because I am doing the return. So whenever you do return, the control will go back to the main function. Okay, it will stop this entire process. So return will return the value and stop the entire process of this function. Else, if the string 1 str1 at index I, the ASCII of this is greater than the ASCII of the second string str2 at index I. If the first character is having the more ASCII than the second character, then that means that first string is more than the second string, so I'll have to return +1. So I'll do return +1. So I'll just write return 1. Else what you do is, you'll write else, you'll come to the else part if both the characters are same, if the characters having the same ASCII code. Like in this example, both the characters are same h and h. So in this case, what you do is you'll just increment the value of I, because in the next iteration you'll have to go to the next index I, which is 1 in this case. So this will take you back to the condition, and again the condition is checked with these characters e and I. Okay, now you know that e is less than I, so return -1 will be executed. So -1 will be returned to the main function. If -1 is returned, that means the string str1, that is hello, is less than the string str2, which is hi. Okay, this is how it works. Now if in case both the strings are same, right, if both the strings are hello, that means it will run the entire loop in both the strings, right? So it will come outside of the loop here. It will come outside of the loop because it will not encounter this return. Neither this return is encountered. It will come outside of the loop. If it is somehow outside of the loop, that means that both these strings are exactly same. So in that case, I'll have to write return 0. Return 0, indicating that both these strings are exactly the same. Okay, so this is how you implement the string comparison function. Now we are going to put this entire thing into a function and write down our own code to demonstrate the same. So in this program, we are having two character array, A and B, each of size 20. String is scanned using getAs function in line number 12 for string A and line number 14 for string B. So both these strings are taken as an input. Okay, and we are trying to compare these two strings A and B by using the inbuilt function in the header file string.h, that is strcmp A, B. This will return me the value 0 if the strings are same, -1 if the first string A is less than B, and +1 if the first string is more than the second string. So let's try to demonstrate the same by running this code. Okay, so let me provide the first string as hello and second string as hi. So the answer is -1 because hello is less than hi. Okay, so if I give first string as hi and second string as hello, the answer is +1 because the first string hi is more than the second string hello. That means hi comes after hello in the dictionary. Okay, and if I give both the strings are same, hello, hello, the answer that is returned is 0. Okay, this is what I'm going to implement by my own function. So let me write my own function just before the main function. The return type is int because I have to return 0, -1 or 1. Okay, so I'll just write string comparison is the name of the function. Here I have to provide two strings as an argument to this function. Let the first string be called as str1, okay, and let the second string be called as str2. Okay, I'm trying to compare string 1 and string 2, str1 and str2. So as you have already seen in an algorithm, I have to have this integer variable I initialized to 0, indicating the first index of both the strings. So I'll have to have a while loop running on these strings str1, okay, str1 I at index I, the element should not be equals to null. If it is not null, I have to repeat something. And in the string 2, in the second string at index I, the element again should not be null, should not be equals to null. Okay, so this is my condition in the while loop. Okay, if the condition is true, I'll have to repeat something. What do I repeat? That I'm going to write here in the statement now. Inside the loop, I'll write some statements that is to be repeated. So what I do in the loop is I'll compare the ASCII of both the characters. Okay, so let me compare the ASCII of the string 1 at index I. If it is less than, if the ASCII of the string 1 is less than the ASCII of the string 2 at index I, that means the first string is less than the second string, right? So I'll write first string is less than second string. Okay, so in this case, I'll have to return -1. Okay, else if my ASCII of the first string at index I is more than the ASCII of the string 2, str2 at index I, in that case I'll have to do return +1 because now the first string is more than the second string, so I'll just write return 1. Okay, else what I do is I'll have to increment the value of I because I'll have to go to the next index in the next iteration, so I do I++ and then the process will continue. Okay, and I'll go here to the loop and then we'll check with the next character. This process will continue. Okay, once it is outside of the loop, here it's outside of the loop, it will be outside of the loop only if both the strings are the same. So in that case I'll have to return 0. Return 0. Okay, so this is return, return 0. Okay, so this is the entire function to perform string comparison. So let's try to call this function and see if it works fine. Let's use the same syntax here, copy it here, and let me paste it after this printf statement. So let me name it as answer. This is my this is calling my function string comparison. So I'll just replace this strcmp by string comparison a comma b. Okay, and then let me print this answer here. Okay, and see if it is the same as the strcmp function. That will be the comparison as well. answer is this one. Okay, so this one is nothing but inbuilt function, and here in line number 40 I'll write this is the user defined function, I'm calling it here. Okay, and displaying the answer, and this is not ans, this should be answer, answer. I'm trying to print this variable answer here, and I'm trying to print this variable ans here. Okay, so I'm trying to compare if both of them are going to give me the same answer. Okay, so let me compile this code now. So there's this error saying that str is not declared in line number 16. So you go to line number 16, you see this is str1 and it is not str. So you just make a change here, compile this again, clear this screen, compile, no error. Now let's run this. Let's try to give the same string in both the cases, hello, hello. So from my inbuilt function, from string.h, answer is 0, and from my user defined function, the answer is again 0. Okay, so let's compile it one more time. First string is hi, second string is hello. In both the cases, the answer is +1. Okay, let's run it for the third time. Okay, the first string is hello and second string is hi. In both the cases, the answer is -1, so it works perfectly fine. Now I can improvise this program by displaying whether the string is same or different. Okay, so I can write if my answer happens to be 0, that means both the strings are exactly same. So I can just write printf same string. Okay, this is the message that I'm going to display. Else if my answer is less than 0, if it is less than 0, that means what? String 1 is less than string 2. This is the answer. This is what I print. Okay, and then I'll print a new line. Else if In the else case, that means the string 1 is more than the string 2. So I'll just copy this code, printf statement, paste it here. Okay, so I'll print string 1 is more than string 2. So let me now try to compile this code and see if it works fine. Compilation is successful. Let's write it down, a.exe and hello, hello, and it says that same string. Okay, this is fine. Now let's try apple, zebra. So it is string 1 is less than string 2. Apple is less than zebra, right? Apple comes before zebra in the dictionary. Let's try it one more time. Let's write the first string as monkey and second string as ball, right? So it says the answer is +1, and it says the string 1 is more than string 2 because monkey comes after ball in the dictionary. So monkey is more than ball. This is what it means. Okay, so this is how string comparison function works. Okay, so in this lecture we have learned the entire logic of how to implement the string comparison function. We have seen the logic, we have devised our own logic by looking at the example, and then we have implemented our own function to implement the string comparison, and we have tested the same with the strcmp function in the header file string.h, and we have seen and we have got the same answer in both the cases. Okay, so that's all in this lecture. Stay tuned.